5, 10. This is 15.
Yeah.
5, 10. That's 25. 30.
Okay. Ah, shit. Wait, no, actually, 5, 10. You can still go another one, actually. Like, either here or here.
Like here?
Yeah.
Okay. That's
All
my
right.
turn.
Fantastic. Once again, I'm going to ask, do you want to hide?
No.
Okay, I will let you know hiding is one of the core things that you need to be doing. It's great.
Yeah.
For what?
So you can use your bonus action for a multitude of things, right? One of them being to hide. When you are hidden, it gives you certain unique privileges. One of them being an unseen attacker.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I will hide.
It's pretty
Fantastic. Go ahead, give me a stealth.
You got it.
Perfect.
You're good.
Perfect.
Expertise, man. Expertise.
All right. That will bring us off to another one of the servers who is going to, oops,
Continue hiding.
continue
I
hiding.
used to
Yeah.
have a cat that thought it could hide by like getting really close to the ground, just laying there. That's kind of how I'm picturing this right now.
You mean that's not how it works?
Like when they like get down and like hunched over and you see the butt wiggling.
Right. It was a dark gray cat on white carpet, and
That's just called camouflage.
exactly.
The metal construct up on the balcony is going to take a little stroll on off to the left as it begins to pick up yet another painting off of the...
Isn't it leaving the range of Dresmorland?
Yeah, have him take a stab
Yep.
at it.
Absolutely it is.
Dresmorland gets stabby.
Ooh, and just barely getting his nerves back up, holding the sword in hand, he tries to thrust out. Narrowly misses.
Damn.
Through some of like the uneven footsteps and like the little rumble on the ground, it causes him just get off kilter ever so slightly.
Yeah, here's a dumb question. You can't opportunity attack where you're climbing, so I think if the answer is no.
Right, they're not even on the same ground, so they wouldn't be within reach.
Right, that's what I think.
Well, he's getting closer to me, but he seems focused on his mission, so I'm not going to bother, like, shielding myself, I don't think.
Okay. Okay.
Famous last words.
So he begins to reach for another one of the paintings, begins to retract his arm, open a cavity in his chest, stores it in, and begins to look towards a window. And that's going to end his turn. All right. And that's going to take us towards the guards, who are going to do nothing but try to make their way over towards... Oh, Lord, if I can try to get this. Oh, God. Oh. They're going to try to make their way over towards the... Is that going to be a little bit easier? Towards the golem. There we go. Make his way. Nope.
I'm gonna yell and ask that he doesn't go right here. No.
I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna have to go around the other way.
All right. And then it's going to bring us right off to... Can I please move him? Oh, my Lord. What is going on? Is it because it's not the... Thanks, double clicking. So the dwarf should be out of here. Remove. All right, this takes us back over to Dresmorland, who's going to take a quick look over at the creature. Just announce, you can't take those, and begin to try to thrust and stab towards the creature once again. Why can I not? Oh, that's why. I see. There we go. First attack is gonna hit. You go hear a little cling of the sword meeting the armor, and it just rings out throughout the entire room in the like now just dead silence of the room. Dealing 12 points of damage.
Nice.
All right, that's gonna be his turn. Sev, that brings us up to you.
All right, let's see. 20, and then, all right. That's my movement. All right. I am going to, like kind of call out to Dresmorland, to look out, and I'm casting Shatter on the, what? Okay, I got the damage, but where's the, to hit? Okay, 17 damage.
It's a save.
Oh yeah, it is a save, that's right.
And it has disadvantage because it's a construct.
Yep.
So where are you aiming at?
The big boy.
Okay.
So, since it's, 10
And that's a
radius.
dexterity save?
No, it's con.
Con, thank you.
Con disadvantage 15.
Is it gonna hit me?
Ooh.
No, you're good.
Okay, that's unfortunate.
What?
All right. Both targets fail.
Both?
Mm-hmm.
Westmoreland.
No.
If it's centered on the construct, it's gonna hit both.
But it's a 10-foot radius.
Yes.
And it takes up 10 feet of space.
Sorry, I guess the way that I had measured it was not right. But you just want to cover the entire area of the creature itself.
I want to cover the creature, yes, but obviously I'm, like, not trying to hit Dresmorland.
Gotcha, okay. That's why I wanted to clarify what you were looking for.
Yeah.
Okay, so in that case, Dresmorland's saved. No worries there. The creature, the golem, does not make it through.
Yeah. All right, have 17 points of thunder damage.
Yeah, absolutely. In addition, as you cast Shatter, you see parts of like its armor, parts of the metal, parts of the stonework just begin to like chip off. You see some of it like flying off the shoulders, off the legs. It's starting to look a little roughed up. Anything else you'd like to do?
I'm just gonna yell to everyone in the room, "Don't let it get out the window!"
Okay. Really? That brings us off to you. What are you looking to do?
Okay, so
Squirrel can finish climbing.
yeah, the squirrel can finish climbing and probably get to him because it's like 15 feet away, I think, and it needs to move to get there. But as for me, I don't know where the invisible guy went, but I know that Gale is standing right there.
Yeah.
That this guard is standing in front of this window, and if we break a window, we'll know.
Yeah.
So given that, I'm gonna want to move near the door.
Okay.
Because if I can, why isn't it select token?
Which door are you looking at? Bottom door?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to move in front of the door, basically where this guy is, so that I can block the door with the guards.
Okay.
Because he's gonna need to get out of the room some way, assuming he hasn't already done it. So, you know, try and prevent that while you can.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Because he's only had one turn, I think, maybe two if he moves before me. I can't remember the turn.
Something like that.
Yeah, he does.
So we're looking to like go right in front of the door?
Right,
Like so?
exactly, to try and block it.
Okay.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
the guards.
Sounds good. Okay. Anything else you'd like to do?
Just order the murder squirrel to try and kill the golem.
Oh, fantastic. So it's going to take the next 5 movement to get up onto the little balcony area. And then...
And then it has 25 movement left, so I can definitely move the 15 feet it needs to get to the golem.
Get like right behind Dresmorland there.
And it does have pack tactics.
Jesus Christ. Alright, go attack with your murder squirrel. Go ahead, go do it.
Let's see if it finishes the golem off.
Murder squirrel! I swear, if this murder squirrel manages to deal the final damage, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Right, so that is
Come on,
6
get that
plus... yeah, that is 6 plus 2 for the damage. Let's...
Come on.
No, not that. Okay.
Murder
And
squirrel.
then... So does a 16 hit?
16 just barely hits.
Yes! Take that 6 damage. Chomp.
Actually, 8. Because it's 6 plus 2.
Yeah, took that 8 damage once again, just trying to go for anything and possibly try to get its little grubby little claws on, goes scratching out towards some of the already fallen apart like stonework of the arms that like one of the arms that like falls down, or one of the like oh god, the bottom of the foot, the sole as it's beginning to like get a leg up. Gala, it is your turn. What are you looking at doing?
I'm going to attempt to bonk.
Yeah. Go bonk.
Okay.
Is that enough space, or do I gotta move one more?
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see what happens.
Yeah, that's good because I need a spot next to you to get in there.
19.
Nice.
It absolutely hits.
Bonk.
$11 damage.
Nice.
This is force damage technically because it's a magic weapon.
It is... It does the same thing where it starts to sputter and stop and freeze and jolts, and you hear a mechanical as it begins to move smoothly once again. But the condition of the construct is not looking good. Parts of it are just chunking off. There's a bit where you struck where like you can now see into the cavity. It is not doing well.
Finish it off.
Yeah, I'm gonna look over at my companion. Finish him.
Lathendil, seeing that most of the creatures, most of the figures have been dealt with, is going to try and make their way out the door, heading down past you, really.
And she's not.
As she hears you, Sev, just gives a little look over the shoulder and waves slowly. You see a little, like, grin on her face as she begins to leave.
Damn.
Alright, and this will bring us over to Brynjolf, who is going to do a very similar thing. Seeing that most of the threats are immediately gone, he is taking his leave and heading out. Bartholomew, however, the ever-sturdy warrior that he is going to try to inch his way closer towards the lumbering hulk.
Oh wow, he better do this, cause now I can't get in there and help.
Unfortunately, he's not going to find any place good enough to really get there, because I think he's going to try to make his way...
Come on, I'm not that fat.
Yeah, I don't. I think it's just the awkward angle of this because I think it's gonna go slide like.
Kinda.
Oh,
Like,
come on.
Yeah.
There we go. Slide in there,
The Jason, yeah, there.
right next to you, and just go try to give it a good old
Yeah.
thwack.
I am wondering about the mechanics of this. If there's an invisible
Yeah.
guy and everybody's running through past them, what happens if they happen to like run through the same space that he's in? Do it just like pass them with no problem because he just like turns or what?
I think that is a case-by-case basis. Potentially, there could be like some sort of save to see if if the two run into each other or not.
Right.
Also, while this music is going on, I mean, I'm pretty sure the orchestra is probably cowering, but it would be hilarious if they gave us battle music.
There is no orchestra. It's just the like
It's
instruments
magically
playing on their
playing.
own. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he made 3 attacks and he only hits on the first one.
Damn.
He just goes off. He's declared, "Have at you, you little fiend! You'll fear the Gleamweaver name." And he hits the first. You see just like more of the cavity begin to open up, but his last 2 strikes just go absolutely wild. All right, and that's gonna bring us off to a couple of the guards. One of the guards is gonna be right near you, Rayleigh. Still at the ready, just looking for anything that may be coming in or leaving. Lightning, it is now your turn.
All you.
Nice.
You can like
And-
stay like hunkered over and like throw a dagger at it, maybe.
I don't have a dagger on me.
Oh fuck. Well,
Yeah,
you can
I
shoot it with
picked
a-
some
So-
up, but it just made more sense for me to go attack.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
So he's fire resistant?
And that's what it would seem.
Yeah.
Alright,
We got chromatic orb.
that's what I'm doing.
Thunder damage. Do thunder damage because it's been working for me.
You got it.
There we go. Beautiful.
With a 15. Hold on, let me just double check. All right. So, depending on what you'd like to do, if you were to stay where you were, you could still have visual sight. It's just going across the hallway, right?
Oh,
Across
'cause
the
I couldn't
balcony.
see him on my...
You could easily
why I
like
moved.
move to like between, like towards the stairs. It's going to give you like sight to him because he's big, massive, hulking. You could absolutely stay where you were.
Not hard to.
Oh,
So
that's fine. I can go back to where I was. I just...
yeah,
on
no
my
worries.
screen, I couldn't see him, so...
That might be an issue on my end, unfortunately, because trying to get stuff set up.
Yeah, I got it.
But go ahead and give me another roll.
Yep.
As you were hidden, you get
So
advantage
you
on
got
this
advantage.
on this attack.
Yep. That's why. Yeah.
And it was thunder damage is what we're doing?
Yeah. Yep. Thunder damage.
I actually can't see the giant from my position either because he's covered up by the shadow.
With a
Damn.
15. Our friendly construct on death's door. How does it look as the spell begins to come forth and you summon the ball of energy? It hits, it falls down. It is out.
Beautiful.
How are you looking to cast this? What do you want to do?
I realize like he's like staggering and I pull out my diamond and I start like chanting, I guess, to conjure like the thunder damage, and then I just release like full force with like a hand motion and the orb just goes flying out and crackling, like making the sound of thunder.
I like it.
And then, yeah,
I like it.
and it hits him in the eye.
Yeah.
As you just manage to get him, as he's turning around, confused from all the new strikes he has, you just hear the thud and the impact and the shake of the weight as it falls to the ground of the balcony above.
Hell yeah.
We still haven't found our other friend.
No.
No, one got away, right?
True. As you take a quick look around, you see that all that's really left in the room are some guards and the servers, as well as Themius, that begin to like look up past the counter. And there's, are we safe? Is it?
There's still one more, and he's invisible, but I don't know where he is. If somebody can pinpoint a possible location, I could try to drag him out, but...
Does Gale, is he able to use the other paintings to like pinpoint?
Oh,
doesn't he have
a painting? Yes. And well, I mean, he knows that painting anyway because.
True.
Oh yeah, because you guys found it.
True.
All right. I'll try using locate object, trying to focus on, I guess, the missing painting.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, everybody's gonna guard the exits, I assume.
Yes.
Because I mean, I'm guarding one. I assume the guards are gonna guard one.
I'll take this one over here.
Yeah, one of the guards will definitely be like moving over to cover the various different entrances and exits as well. One will be leaving to go bring forth a full like platoon, try to bring more
help
into the situation. Yeah. Gale, as you cast detect or locate object, you get the sense of two paintings directly in the construct in front of you.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
You have one that's off to your bottom left. You figures in the hallway that you had emerged from.
Yeah.
Right.
You get a couple more that are still, that you can see are still on the walls that haven't been disturbed.
Mm-hmm.
The last one.
You don't pick up any sense of it.
Fuck! They got away with it.
It's gone.
It's gone. I can't find it.
Fuck.
Sorry, Dresmorland, we did our best.
You said the construct had two?
Yes.
Yeah.
It grabbed two of the paintings off the wall and it put in like a central cavity that it had.
Okay.
Right.
I will say though, I'm pretty fucking proud of myself for remembering that Gale has detect object.
That was good.
I was thinking of that too, but I wasn't sure if it was going to work because they seem to have anti-magic qualities.
Yeah. I'm gonna go investigate and see why it was trying to attack this statue. Can I like make an Arcana roll to see if there's anything up with it?
No need for Arcana. Just give me an investigation. If you want to go take a look at the statue. Dresmorland's going to be shaken incredibly.
Can I do it too?
Yeah, if you want to go take a look, you can hop right over to it. Not a problem.
18.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice. Yes, Dresmorland's gonna try to like recover, shaking. You see him, Gale. You see him and Bartholomew just begin to like step over the construct.
Open.
Yeah, they're gonna try to like rip open whatever door was leading to the cavity, and you see a couple of paintings, but they are not in good condition.
Shit.
Oof. Well,
they were in.
Couldn't be helped.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know there was much we could do, but...
You stored them once, I'm sure you could do it again.
Wait. I have mending, guys. I have mending. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that work?
Yeah.
Isn't it only on fabrics?
It's canvas.
No.
Oh.
But I mean, mending isn't just restricted to fabrics. Like for example, a wooden object would be fine. or glass. I don't know how it would be with metal, but I mean, a painting is fine. I got the paintings after I'm done investigating the statue.
Yep, fantastic. So you can go ahead and cast Mending as you get up there. Looking at the statue, both of you, you don't see anything really of value. You see like the different forms, like bits of like muscle that are like half formed since they've just been clawed out and fallen apart, but it doesn't seem as if there's anything in the statue itself.
Huh.
I'd probably want to try and move the paintings out of the
Yeah.
construct before you cast Mending on the off chance that it restores the construct too.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Gale, Bartholomew, and Dresmorland, they can all pry open the cavity and they just take out a couple of the pictures, and you see that, I mean, they are in pieces. Several, it looks like one of those beginner, like 20-piece jigsaw puzzles, just all strewn about.
I'm imagining Dresmorland's got like this look of panic, and I have to like reassure him. It's like, it's okay, I can do this.
Yeah, he is not great. He's just like heavy breathing, pacing around. He's not even speaking to anyone at the moment. Bartholomew is all, it's all right. We've got the scoundrels on the run now. Everything is fine. As he takes a look around.
I'm gonna try and find one of the less dead ones and see if I can find one that's making death saves.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. At this point, they're all out.
Gone. Yeah.
Are they all just like dead?
Dead.
Wait, all right.
Even the one I just
So
bonked?
I want to have my.
Alright.
So.
You bonked him too good.
I do want to have my mouse familiar smell all of the enemies that we have slain, just so that it can memorize the smell. I'm gonna mention to Rayleigh, it might help to have Locke come in here and try to sniff everything and see if he can find a missing fellow.
I mean, I could double back and
Yes.
get him. Okay.
Cast
sure, I'll
Zephyr
go ahead.
Strike and run.
Go get him.
Okay.
And then I'll mend the paintings. And I will have my mouse still like memorize the smell of all the figures and the constructs just to be safe. And the paintings, why not? Just make sure anything that we might need to look for, that the mouse can remember the smell and help if need be.
Okay. Sounds
I'm
good.
Gale.
going to
Oh,
cast...
sorry.
I'm gonna cast Detect Magic to see if I can sniff out the invisible one.
Good call.
Okay.
Good call.
Okay. Yes, really.
I'm wondering, how far is the guild hall from here at 60 feet speed?
Maybe see if there's like a carriage outside that could
So-
take you quickly.
How long does Zephyr Strike last?
Zephyr Strike gives me the speed buff for one turn, but I have summoned Beast, which lasts for an hour.
Oh,
And I've
okay.
only used it once. So I'm just gonna go ahead and hit you right on the bird.
You know what? That's beautiful.
That's the plan.
Yeah,
great.
okay.
Do it.
How fast does the bird move?
The bird moves 60
60.
feet.
60, so dash for 120.
That's flight
Yeah.
speed too.
Okay.
So it might be
Yep.
faster.
So yeah, that's roughly on par with like a cart without traffic. So to get back to the guild, probably like 2 hours. Well, no, because you can just
Okay,
fly right
okay.
across the river. It's gonna be like
Yeah.
45 minutes to an hour.
You're
Okay, well
good.
then I'll just go ahead and fly across the river and hopefully reach the other side of the river before an hour is over, and then have it drop me off when it is gonna run out.
Okay. While it's carrying you, roll me a constitution check for it.
Okay, and I'm gonna have it fly me like not terribly high off the ground any
Sure.
time it's possible.
Sure.
Just so that I'm not like risking my life for no apparent reason.
I can only imagine how this looks to everybody, like just this giant fey bird carrying a person over everybody's heads.
Now, you said Constitution?
Yeah.
Constitution, yeah. Just trying to get like an idea of like how weighed down it is, like how much physical exertion it needs to spend to do this.
Wait, it's the bird that needs to roll it, not me, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Okay, let me go ahead and go to the sheet and see if I can roll for a bird.
Sure.
I don't think I've done that before.
Sure.
I was gonna say, because that was not a good roll.
Lightnings or anything
Right.
that you plan on doing in the meantime while everyone else is kind of like scattering around?
Ooh,
What
there we
happened on that 20?
go!
Oh shit.
Perfect.
Nice.
That bird is on its way.
It is zooming. We'll say it's like half an hour.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look for my soup bowl.
Oh my god. I'm gonna help Gale and
I'm hungry. I disintegrated one dude. I finished off the construct. I'm starving. I didn't get my food.
That's fair. That's fair. That's the real tragedy here.
I'm gonna help Gale and be around in case we need to identify anything if he finds like a sketchy object or whatever. So
All right. Fantastic.
So, yeah,
Good call.
I'll search the room, see if I find anything, maybe even like a bugging device or something that might have helped the portals come in.
yeah,
Sure.
like any magical object, pretty much.
Sure. So you've got detect magic.
Tech casting.
Yes,
I assume you're gonna
cast it.
fast cast that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bother ritual casting it.
Okay.
The time is of
I'm
the
gonna-
essence.
Sounds good.
I am gonna have the mouse like still look around. I can't imagine it's going to like find anything, but I might as well.
Sure. Go ahead. Give me. I'll say
And
perception.
was Sev successful in fixing the paintings?
Oh god, there's so much stuff happening. Sorry. Let
Yeah,
me
sorry.
let me try to unwind.
Alright,
So-
Paintings was the first thing.
Yes, so painting's resolved. Morland's just kind of like pacing around at this point. He's talking things over with Bartholomew. He'll approach all of you, begin to walk up as Sev, you're taking a look over at the paintings that are like resting on the side of the construct's body. You're able to just pick them up, take a couple minutes to mend over, and then be all set to go. He'll approach you, taking a look at it. I believe Gil will probably still be up here as well. This was not the evening I had planned for any
I
of
don't
us.
think anyone planned it, although if we had our weapons, it might have turned out a little differently. That's why I brought this.
yes.
Understandable, and your worry is appreciated.
I certainly wanted to make sure we were all safe, though, which is why I made sure to have everything I needed in my book here.
Yes, fantastic. It's. I apologize for the trouble and harm that I've brought you all into. I believe it would be prudent if you were to spend the night at my residence. There are some things I wish to discuss a bit further with you.
Yes,
Sure, but we should investigate here first and see if we can find out where the person fled to.
we need to find that other painting, if we can, while the trail's still hot. But
Yes.
we will indeed take you up on that offer. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. I just wanted to make sure that we were not to get separated, I suppose, once things start to get resolved here. Bartholomew is going to try to take a jog down to go alert the guard and bring them over here. And I, at the moment, need to try and regroup with the others who had fled. If you wouldn't mind trying to keep watch and keep an eye on matters here, make sure no one comes in or out. I'm sure the remaining guard here will assist you as well.
We have everything taken care of.
Fantastic. I live
Also, you were brilliant in battle, and it was great to fight by your side.
An honor.
Looks now, his hand's still shaking. I am not very familiar with terms of combat. It was, how do you say, very nerve-wracking. But again, if you are not here, I worry what may have happened, and I cannot overstate how much we appreciate all the help that your actions had.
We certainly did not go through all of that just to have these paintings taken somewhere.
Nope.
Yes, and we must secure the one that has gone missing. I have, well, that will feed into what we discuss later. I must excuse myself. I need to go track down the others before they get too far away and spread gossip, I suppose. If you'll excuse me, I shall see you later. He'll go through some of the directions to get to his house, give you the direct address, and let you know that there should be a servant, Doran, who is currently tending to the house, and let him know that you had that he had sent you there.
I'm gonna go retrieve the painting in the hallway and give it to one of the guards or the curator or something nearby.
Good call.
Sure. So I want to quickly resolve what we can here because I know it's starting to get late, and I want to make sure that everything's just getting cleared so we can, What's coming up next? I think we're going with Gale casting Detect Magic, and then Sev looking to potentially identify.
Yeah, also the mouse rolled an 18 for smell perception to sniff out the person.
Thank you.
And meanwhile, after I get to the guild, I'm gonna need to get Locke out and either find a carriage that actually lets me take dogs with me, or try and use the bird to carry us both over the river, assuming it still has any time left.
I'm picturing you riding on its back or using both talons to carry you.
Fantastic. Lightning, you head off into the kitchen area. You see a couple of what's the word? The servants, the servers who are cowardly, beginning to get up. At this time, Irina has definitely left and is no longer in the room. But sitting on top of the stove, you see a plate, like a wooden board. You see it's not completely finished. There's like a big stock pot of what seems to be some sort of like beef broth or stew. You can see, like, looking inside there, like giant chunks of cubed meat, along with a couple like other vegetables, celery, onions, etc., etc. But off to the side of it, wooden board on one of the burners, you see the inner workings of like a hollowed out piece of like circular bread that's been cut off, like the top's been cut off, and you had like a couple ladle scoops of the soup
Priorities
into the bread.
Hey man, y'all are just haters because you didn't think of it first.
You can easily enough find some sort of silverware, like a spoon, like a wooden spoon, to start trying to scoop some of the soup out and take bites from the bread. Not a problem.
Yep.
All right. So Rayleigh is no longer here with us. I'll put you out down towards the actual like foyer.
No longer here with us. Sounds like I died or something.
It does sound like you died. That's not what I meant.
No longer with us.
Gale, you detect a couple of things. Well, you detect 2, 3, 4 hints of magic.
Okay.
One coming from each of the bodies. You get a sense that it's
Okay.
abjuration.
Okay.
I guess
I
we'll...
search the body.
Yeah, me too. I'll
Okay.
like roll an Arcana to see if I can figure out like if, well, okay. All right. I will.
What are you looking to do? So what are you trying to
I'm
do?
gonna investigate one of the bodies to
Okay.
see like. I'm just gonna start off with regular investigation.
Sure. Go ahead and
Seeing as how I
give me
have
investigation.
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. And then Gale, what were you looking at doing? Just like
I'll
looking
do
over
an
the body?
Arcana check to see if I can identify the spell that was cast. Or if they have like a magic object on them.
Yeah.
I would say that you can definitely detect the object. It seems that all of them have something glimmering from their hands.
Okay.
Some kind of ring.
So it would seem. As
What's a
you
ring?
look over the different bodies, you see that all of them have a ring upon the right hand middle finger.
All right.
And
I will
they be
fast
removed.
And as
I will
you...
fast cast identify
Okay,
on one of the rings then.
sure. Sev, during your investigation, you're taking a look through the bodies. You don't see much difference. Don't see much different. You see like the figure that you are looking at appears to be human. They have, I don't know, like your stereotypical cultist gear on.
Yeah.
They've got like a long overflowing hood. They've got the little like mantle hood flaps coming down. They've got a like long robe. On the back, it seems to be imprinted, like stitched with a symbol of what looks to be some sort of flame in black stitching.
On the back of this.
On the
is
back of
on
the cloak, or on the back of the
cloak.
robe.
Okay. I'm gonna take. I'm gonna kind of like sketch out what the symbol looks like,
Okay, yeah.
so I know what it looks like, and then yeah, I'm gonna fast cast identify on one of the rings and see what it does.
Sounds good, yeah. As I assume Gale, like, you can call out. They've all got
That is
rings
the ring.
of some sort.
Yep.
You realize, Sev, that the ring that you cast identify on is a ring of spell storing.
Well, fuck.
And you see that
Storing. We have 3 of them.
Yeah.
you see 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were on all 4 bodies that were in here.
Well, we found the missing ring.
As you look it over,
That's how they teleported in here, huh?
Yeah.
you see that some of the charges it would have been used, and each and every one of the rings has some sort of crack in it, of varying lengths and sizes, but they do not appear to be in perfect condition.
They do not what?
Appear to be in perfect condition.
All right.
Can they be recharged, or are they a one-time use thing?
We probably should just take them and take them back to
I mean,
Asher.
what I'm gonna do. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take them.
Let's take them.
Sure, you can snag the
Like-
rings off of all of them, not a problem. The guards at this point are just manning the doors,
Doors.
not really paying much attention to what all of you are doing, just on look out for anything coming in or out in the immediate area.
So I'm gonna. I just
search the bodies for
Yeah.
like any notes, equipment,
Sure.
anything useful they might have, maybe even anything valuable.
Yeah.
As you take a look through, you find that they don't really carry a whole lot on them.
Oh, shit.
They have a dagger each. They have what appears to be some sort of necklace that they're wearing. That appears like it could be some sort of symbol matching the like emblem on their back.
Oh, I'm taking those for sure. I need to get one to Fog ASAP.
Okay. Yeah, I can go
Let's
ahead.
take them.
Take them
I'm gonna
off of each.
Yeah, take all of them. So yeah.
Sure.
Also,
Let's keep the robes too.
yes. Oh, you know
'Cause
what?
they might be worth having for infiltration
That's
purposes.
just what I was thinking, and the necklaces,
Yeah.
and the rings for that matter. I mean, even if they're like cracked, I'm sure we might even still be able to like wear them and pretend to, we can be infiltrating, and they would know that yes, they've used the spell, so yes, they'd be cracked. Cool.
That's a thought.
Take all their shit.
So
and
as
their
you
dad.
start rummaging through, oh my god, are you just looting them entirely?
We need to have their full outfit.
Jesus.
Also, I am not Fog. I don't have that same deep respect of the dead.
All right, so
I feel like you had an explanation for the rings just fine, but now that the guards are here and you're rummaging through and stealing like all their clothing and stuff.
This is where like they're guarding the doors, but like as you begin to start like disrobing them and like taking the different like equipment off of them, they're going to begin to approach. Let's say like one begins to walk up, lift up his visor.
I'll look up at him and be like, so I have a sibling who's investigating a cult, and I think these may be some of the cultists, and I need to get these items to them, and we might need to wear their clothes for infiltration.
He is going to give you a very confused look. Okay, listen here. I know this is very traumatic. I know this is a once-in-a-lifetime kind of situation. I get it. I understand. But these bodies need to stay here, not derobed. Okay? This is evidence. We need to bring this down to the station. Fortunately, I can't let you take anything.
Alright, well, at least we got the jewelry, right? Before they,
Yeah, I'd say that, like, the rings themselves were small enough that it wouldn't really be anything conspicuous. But, like, trying to, like, actively remove clothes...
Okay.
It's...
Can we take the necklaces, though?
Yeah, I'd say they're small enough as well, as, like, you're trying to just flip them over and look around. They could even, like, use the hood to, like, sneak it through. That's not a problem.
Yeah. Okay. Alright, well, I will have a word with Tresmorlin, I suppose. Is there someone I could be in contact with in case I need one of these robes in the future after the investigation has taken place?
Yeah, you'll have to check with the captain down at the station. Anything you need that you would need to look for, he'd be down there.
Is that him who was just here? Or no, it wasn't?
No. The group we had here was a couple local guys, and it seems that some of the out-of-towners were bringing their own personal guards as well.
What's the captain's name?
Dariel?
Dariel.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. All right. Well, I guess that's all we can do here.
So if you'd like to continue investigating, that's fine. We're not gonna be able to let anyone leave or anything until we get word back and more help arrives. So if you could just sit tight, we'd appreciate it.
That's fine. Alright, so what is the mouse sniffed out with an 18?
Hey, not to interrupt, but I have to go take meds and take care of my cats, so I gotta dip, guys.
Sure. No
Okay.
worries.
Maybe
Was
we
just
should
about to
call it here then.
was just about to finish up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mouse finds nothing really apart from just death.
Yeah.
A whole lot of death, a lot of burnt smells coming from like the fabrics
Yeah.
and whatnot.
Honestly,
Nothing in particular.
There's probably just a lot going on. So
Yeah, kind of turned into like a hectic end. But
yeah.
we will pick up
Fun though.
next time.
Yeah.
How is next week looking for everyone? We all set?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
next week
good.
should be fine. And then at the last week of August, I probably won't be able to because it's Corey's birthday weekend. But
Last week of
otherwise,
August. Okay.
I should be good for a while.
We'll take
Oh,
a
you know
note
what?
of that.
There's 1 week that I was gonna do another booth, but I think that's a Saturday, so it should be fine.
Okay. Well, we'll work it out during the week.
Well, yeah.
And then, yeah, as always, I appreciate you all for joining me tonight. I am sorry to confirm your deepest fears that there is, as always, combat at a social event because what else would happen?
Even though you so are.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
I adjudicate is what I do. No. I don't want to give stuff away. So like, if I can be vague and try to keep it as,
I
you
mean,
know.
that's fine and all. It's just you sounded like
You were so upset that we were
Yeah.
like preparing for combat.
yes, and I'm like, really? Like
You were genuinely like, I would never.
I would
Yeah,
never.
Gala.
That's an
Well,
insult
it's
to my
not like-
character.
Babe,
You slander my family.
I am your family. Like, also,
I feel like if Hope was DM though, she would do the same thing. So you know, it's two
of
peas in a
course I
pod.
would. But at least I'm upfront about it.
I'm
Like,
just-
I don't try to deny
Look,
my chaotic nature.
I
Like,
am never not upfront about it. Like, if I will lie, if that means if that like I will try to make things as neutral and unsuspecting as possible, I'll fucking go for it. I don't care. We will get there in a moment.
you try to
I don't have
deny
shame.
your chaotic nature.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
You are not lawful. Like, also, like I said, I have played D&D games where we are at an event where there's not supposed to be combat, and then, oh, there's combat! A world leader gets assassinated in the middle of a speech.
That's
Like,
just how it goes. So we will resolve the end of our social encounter next time. Pick up what's
Yeah.
going on as our friends realize that the rings they just picked up could potentially belong to someone they know quite
Asher.
well, who are missing a stock of rings that have been stolen. See how that all involves. See like what happens with the paintings. What does just one want to talk about? We will find out next week. See you next Sunday around 7 p.m. Central Time. And enjoy the rest of the night, y'all. Take care. Appreciate you stopping by.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Enjoy it.
bye.
Thanks, Dale. Have a good night, guys.